You ask how to keep your basket weave straight, and that's what we're talking about today. That's coming up. Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Reach. This is Weaver Leather Supply. Today, we're gonna be answering Alex IB 6TM. We're gonna answer his question about how to keep your basket weave straight. He said his tends to drift a little bit, if I remember correctly from the question he left in the comment section. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Now, one of the most common times you're going to see a basket weave is on a belt. Now, I know there's other scenarios where you'd use a basket weave. You see them a lot on wallets, sometimes on journals, even on the really amazing saddles that are out there. You see a basket weave on that. But a belt is one of the more common times you'll see a basket weave. So today we're going to be working with an 1.5 inch wide strip of leather, very similar to what you might have if you were working on a belt. First thing that we need to do is just lay in our baseline. Our baseline is going to be what determines everything, our angle, our starting points, all that kind of stuff. So we need to lay in that baseline. Now, most of the time, this is going to come pretty naturally because it's going to be your tooling window on whatever project that you're using. We've already got it laid into the belt. You can see there's a line on top and on bottom, and that's what we're going to use as our baseline. The easiest way that I found to set up the angle for the basket weave is just to use a square. You've got two flat sides and an angle. That's a 45-degree angle right there. So we can drop our belt or our project down in here and then use this line to set up our 45-degree angle. We can also use that further down the project to check and make sure that our basket weave isn't drifting one direction or the other. Once I've got that line scribed in, I'm going to use my stamp to make some really light impressions on the leather just to see how the pattern's going to lay out. If we've got too much space on the top after we go in and lay it out, what we can do is grab our wing dividers and use that to kind of even out that margin between one side and the other. As I'm laying in these stamps, there's a couple of things that I'm going to be doing just to make sure that they continue to lay out correctly. The first one is that I'm going to grab that square that I used in the beginning, and I'm going to continue to check to make sure I'm on that correct angle and I'm not drifting one direction or the other. The other thing that I'm going to do, if you notice on the basket stamp, we've got two little legs that come off each side of that stamp. Those are meant to fully overlap. And if we do that, they'll act as a guide and really help keep us on track. And if we start to drift, it'll be a lot more obvious, easier to correct. Now, I'm not taking that stamp all the way to those baselines that we laid in because we've got a camouflage tool that we can come back with and it will really blend everything together. So how do we make sure that our basket weave doesn't drift? Well, first of all, we're going to lay in a baseline. Then we're going to set up our angle. Then we're going to go back and as we're stamping it, we're going to make sure that those bars are overlapping. Then as we go through the project, we're going to check it with our square to make sure we're still on the right angle. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I will see you in the next one. In the meantime, go make something amazing.